Hello everybody, welcome back to the FM24 Folkestone Youth Academy Save. I got the words the wrong way around. The FM24 Youth Academy Challenge with Folkestone Invicta. There we go. We are just at the beginning of February, so we've got about 2 months until our youth intake, maybe a month and a half until our youth intake day comes. This season has been bonkers. Injuries are through the roof. Form is all over the place, but we're pretty much safe, I think. Let's get into it. Yes, hello everybody, and you start with me, fellow managers. What is wrong with my words today? On the competition page, because it's pretty bleak. We got knocked out the first round by Exeter in the FA Cup, knocked out the first round of the Carabao Cup by Plymouth, and knocked out in the first round of the Southern section because we didn't get out of the group. So money from cup competitions is a bit of a fairy tale at the moment. We have nothing. Didn't even score a goal in the FA Cup, by the way, so excellent, well done for that one. But in the league, it's not looking too bad. 14th position, 33 games played, 10 wins, 11 draws, 12 losses, a -1 goal difference, so really not that bad, and 41 points. A win could potentially take us up to 13th, a couple of wins could potentially take us up to 12th, so we're sort of in and around the same positions we were last year, and we are quite considerably far away from relegation, to be honest. Newport County and Dagenham and Redbridge down there on 27 and 25 points. So given the fact we've got 41, I would suggest we're in a very good position right now for another year of League 2 football. And the progression sort of has been there, hitting the lows of 22nd, which again, not quite a relegation position. We've never actually been in the relegation zone since we've been in League 2, which is quite nice. A little bit of a climb, then a fall, then a climb, then a fall, then a climb, then a fall, and now we're climbing again. And I just think it's because our players, this is probably the maximum I can get out of the players at the moment. It's proving to be pretty difficult and pretty tough. If we dive into the schedule, it's been a sort of okay season overall. I do think it's been a little bit tougher. I think we ended here, right? Because I think I came in between that break before the Exeter FA Cup where we lost 1-0. We lost 1-0 to York. We beat Stevenage 6-2. Absolutely smashed them in the 4-2-4. Lost to Solihull, but we rotated the team as much as we were allowed to for the EFL trophy. Lost 4-1 to Walsall. Beat Crewe 3-0. Drew 4-4 with Tranmere in an absolutely mental game where we went 4-3 up in the 90th minute with Junior Ward getting his hat-trick. And then in the 96th minute, because Lexi got an injury which added on extra time, they scored an equaliser from a tap-in, which was really annoying. We stuck with the 4-2-4 and went through some terrible results. Peterborough, Port Vale both beat us, drew with Newport, who were near the bottom of the table, lost to Tranmere, changed it up to the 4-2-3-1 and beat Halifax, who were near the bottom of the table, 2-1. Went back to the 4-2-4 to play Fleetwood, who are a very strong team, and we got a 1-1 draw against them, which was pretty good. The 4-2-4 against Rotherham got us a 3-1 win, and then we lost to Bristol Rovers, and we were quite frankly pathetic in this game. We were at one point, we got it to 1-1 for an Elliot Moore head, but other than that, we were absolutely useless. So we went to the 4-2-3-1, picked up a 2-0 win over Oldham, again, another team that were near the bottom of the division. Woking were near the top, so we went back to the 4-2-4 and lost 2-0, but a good spirited performance. And then we've stuck with the sort of 4-2-3-1, and I think we're going to stick with the 4-2-3-1 to see out the season and just see how it plays. A 4-2 win over Colchester, a 1-1 draw of Leyton Orient, and we've just beaten Bromley 1-0. So results are getting better, I think we can suggest. It always seems to be this Christmas period where we really struggle because we don't have the depth or good enough players in depth to deal with fixture congestion. I can't really explain why September or the beginning of the season in August and September was so bad, but that's pretty much what it is. I have had a look going through here. If we take away the friendly competitions and looking at the formation, I was trying to get an idea of which formation picks us up more points, and it's about even. I'd say the 4-2-3-1 actually has probably just edged it now, where we've used it in the last couple of games. So the 4-2-3-1 we've used for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, and it's given us... Was that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 games. It's given us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. So 50% wins, 1, 2, 3 losses and 2 draws. So that's a pretty good ratio, to be honest. The 4-2-4, we've gone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20... 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 games and it's got us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. So that's not a good ratio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 draws. Okay, so the ratio would suggest that obviously the 4-2-3-1 has a lot less sample size, but the 4-2-3-1 is probably the more sensible formation to go with at the moment. Last year, I did look through this as well, and they are actually quite similar. We played the 4-2-4 for more games. The 4-2-4 picked up a couple more wins. The 4-2-3-1 had a lot of draws last year. So, I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see what sort of thing we see how we're fancying it, really. We're still mixing it up a little bit and seeing how it's going. But overall, I can't be disappointed if we avoid relegation, right? I think that's the position we're in. We've got to stabilise in League 2. We've got to sort out the finances in League 2 and then look to attack once our players sort of progress into their potential, which is still proving to be a problem because Lexi, his contract expires. He's got another year after this one. But like Gubbins, arguably our best centre-back, even though he doesn't play like it. 6.77 isn't dreadful, but yeah, he's not very consistent, Gubbo, but he's got some good attributes in there. But he will not sign a new contract. Where did he go? Gubbo. He will not sign a new contract. It's expiring at the end of the season, so I think he'll be one that just goes, probably goes off into the ether, gets signed by another League 2 / Vanarama national team club and see where he goes from there. But yeah, we've got a number of contracts expiring at the end of this season, as you can see from here. And there was some calls in the comment section to be like, get rid of Elliot Moore, 30 years old, £950 a week. You can probably live without him, 2-star, according to the assistant. He can probably go. Skjorten may be at that limit as well. Not on a huge wage, but could potentially go as well. We've got, Gubbins could be going. Richard Evans might be going. He wants a new contract as a first-team player, which, to be fair, he probably is our best right back at the club, so we'll probably get that one done towards the end of the season. And then I think a lot of the other players, Junior Ward, I think is signing a new contract. Has he got one? No, he must have done that. But he's in the goals at the moment. The problem is, if we go to a 4-2-3-1, Junior Ward's playing time suddenly then becomes a bit more restricted. But he's happy to be a squad rotation player. Let's see if we can get him down to 200. I'm happy to give him just a 1-year deal with a 1-year extension, which he doesn't want. He wants 350 quid. A 1-year deal, 250. Go on. Nope, not happy about it. We'll have to go back to the drawing board for that one. But so there's a few people on there. Kai Allsop, I think, is getting towards the end of his time as well in Victor. Kenan Omarovic, who had an amazing season last year, like towards the end of it, has now sort of like petered out. In fact, he's having a better season, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it when you watch the games. It doesn't feel like Omarovic is having a better season. But I do think ruthlessness is gonna conquer all going into next season. And that ruthlessness has started, by the way, this year. We've let a number of people go. If we go to released players, like you can see here that in December, we had a big clear out of people that were just never going to play. They weren't good enough. They didn't have the potential. They didn't have the personality. So we did clear out a number of people that were in. So what's that? So get rid of Joe because he went at the beginning of the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players. Some were youth contracts. Some were on full-time contracts. But we've binned them off. Like, no, not sticking around, not keeping them around. Under 19s is much, much shorter, much smaller in terms of a player pool that's there. And I think that's fine. I mean, they're still winning their under 18 Division 3 South East, so there's nothing to be concerned about with that. But yeah, I think we're being ruthless and we're slowly trimming the squad down. Finances aren't looking great, right? The 166 grand in debt, and we've got like 3 months left of the season. We've made a loss of 396,000 this year. If we look at expenditure again, the most expenditure in the month was staff wages, which I don't really want to compromise on. I do think that is something we need to keep in touch. Then player wages, which there will be a reduction given the players that we've released and things like that. Other 35, that's helpful, isn't it? Just to have other as a clause. I mean, what was this other here? Look at that huge other out. Like, I don't know what that is. That's not helpful at all. You've set up as a little bit of it. Match day expenses obviously gets a bit as well, and then we are playing a little bit of tax here and there, and then everything drops off into the more manageable amounts. But I think Last season we spent 503,000 on wages in total. This year we're 383,000 with about 3 months to go. So it looks like it's going to be a similar sort of figure. But we'll have to keep it on staff wages, sorry. We'll have to keep an eye on it because, yeah, I don't think the board are going to be in a position to invest loads of money. And we don't have too much debt. We don't have too much debt. And the debt is going to be over in 9 years. So if we can manage that, then the only next debt there should be is when they build a new stadium, which always happens in a Youth Academy Challenge at some point. We just have to be prepared for it and ready. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because we know we're going to get this 500k towards the end of the season. Looks like we're going to be around about, 300,000 in debt come the end of the season. So we'll be into 200,000 positive, and then we try and see what we can do. The more we stay in League 2, the more our reputation catches up, which means you get better sponsorship deals, etc., etc. That is part of the problem. We will be having costs that aren't covered by our sponsorship because our reputation isn't catching up as quickly as we're going up the leagues. So that's always a problem in these sorts of saves. But we are getting there. We are getting there, and we're doing pretty well. Appearances wise, top appearance maker Pikarski in goal. Not been his best season, but he is still the best goalkeeper at the club, so he will be sticking in that position. Gubbo's up there with 34 appearances in total. Bikarski's up there with 30. Bikarski? That's a mix of Pikarski and Birodetsky. Birodetsky is up there with 30. 29 for Junior Ward. He actually has got 14 goals as our top goal scorer this year as well. As I said, the 4-4-2, when he plays up front as a target forward in the 4-4-2, he does really, really well, to be honest. He's just so aggressive, brave, and good jumping reach and gets his head on crosses all the time. It's been his best season for the club, and I do think going away from the 4-4-2 will impact him a little bit because, Lexi has to start up front if we're playing a 4-2-3-1. He is the better, advanced forward striker. Blair Gemmel's there as well, but if you look at the actual, stats between the clubs, 14 goals for Junior Ward this year, 7 for Lexi, 6 for Gemmel, 5 for Christian Emmanuel, who's grown into the season this year. Keenan Omoverich's up there with 5, Luke Johnson with 4. I think all 4 have been back post headers because he's so tall for a winger. But yeah, so it's if it wasn't for Junior Ward, we would be struggling. But we're sort of leaning towards a formation that doesn't mean Junior Ward gets the best football, or the most football, which is a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. The only other thing to touch on before we go into the game today, where we're playing Solihull Moors, is injuries. Injuries have been an absolute nightmare, and I know this is a problem. It is in the homepage. I know this is a problem, but Junior Ward out, knee ligaments. Mark Skinner, flu. Beckham Wooden, flu. Ollie Lewis, sprained knee ligaments. It's just so many injuries. If we go into the medical room, current injuries. So we got Zimmer out with a twisted ankle, Skinner flu, Beckham Wooden flu, Junior Ward knee ligaments, Ollie Lewis knee ligaments, Steve Newton damaged cruciate ligament out for 7 to 11 months, and he was getting some game time this year in the first team as well. High potential, good centre back, good attributes. He was doing a good job as well. But we have had so many injuries. This is just this year for injuries. So many injuries where I don't think our physio department can keep up with now going to a professional training session, and it means we're pushing the players a lot harder. Yes, they're developing quicker, but they're getting more injuries, and it's something we do need to keep an eye on. But that all being said, we are getting into a game today to play Solihull Moors in this episode. That's a very quick overview about what's been happening. Apparently Harold Zimmer can't play because he's injured. I literally just said he's injured. But you can see we've had to bring in people like Seth Ostler from the youth team, who's not a bad player, but he's definitely not one of the best attacking midfielders in the squad. So it's a very interesting position we find ourselves in with injuries and the squad size and trying to be a bit more ruthless. We are trying to be better in that situation. So I think what we're going to go with for this game, because I wanted to test another theory and I also want to do it live on camera, is we're going to go with something else that someone commented about. Play our players that have the best average rating this season so far. We're most way through the season, so I think the average rating is pretty accurate and gives us a good number. So Junior Ward probably can't play with pulled knee ligament, so we'll have to skip him out. But Christian Emmanuel will be in there. Now, I would like to play Christian Emmanuel as an attacking midfielder, I think, for this game. See how he gets on. So Luke Rice can come in and start at right midfield. Again, all these players have played enough, right? Pikarski will obviously be the goalkeeper. We've got Omorovic in there that we could start up front. I'm not too much against that. Elliot Moore can start at centre back. Luke Berwick has only played 4 appearances as a sub, so I'm probably not going to start him, or should I start him, because we're going with average rating 6.8, three appearances overall, all as a sub in the league, and he's got a 6.8. He has 20 games in the under 18s and got a 6.81, so he may be worth a go. Let's try it. Let's just try it. Stephen Cooper at left back. I mean, Harold Zimmer's injured, so we do need a left back. 1 appearance for us and a 6.6. He's actually not been playing at all for the under 18s either, so we probably won't pick him, to be honest. I don't know how he's got a 6.8. How has he got a 6.8 average rating? Did I play him in the cup? Yes, I played him in the cup and he got a 6.6. Oh, he got a 7 in the cup game. 6.85 for 4 sub appearances there. So we'll see how we're getting on left back. So Charlie Clolo, 1 appearance for us and a 6.8, so we'll avoid him. Blair Gemmell is there. So yeah, you can see we're being a bit top heavy. Richard Evans comes in at who did I play at right back then? Oh no, I wanted to play Luke Berwick at left centre back. Richard Evans at right back. We will go and have a look at the under 18s as well at some point. We sort of need defensive players. Bursey can go in there as a holding midfielder. Allsop can go in there as a holding midfielder as well. So Beredetsky misses out. He has been very good, Beredetsky. 6.75 over 30 appearances is pretty decent. We've got Lexi, who misses out as well, but he can go on the bench. We need a left back. Beredetsky can play left back pretty well. Rennie Besson is one that's highly regarded, and our assistant manager keeps saying, hey, he can step up to the first team. 21 appearances for the youth team, 6.96. 1 start, 1 sub for the first team, 6.4. And he's played in the cup and got a 6.7. So I'd say that 6.4 probably suggests he's not ready to step up. We're going to go Beredetsky at left back to start. And then on the bench, we'll go Gemmell, Shuaibu, Lexi, Adam Cross, who is actually someone that I'd really like to play. But if we're going by this average rating malarkey, non-competitive, 11 games, 6.7, 6.7, 6.7. He's so consistent, he's got to play. I'm going to drop Bursey. I'm going to drop Bursey for Adam Cross. Gubbo can go on the bench. Obviously, we need a goalkeeper, because goalkeepers never play. They can go on the bench as well. So let's then sort by position. And we'll go with, we've got 1 position left on the bench. Goalkeeper, left back, centre back, holding midfielder, striker, right winger, midfield striker, right winger. So we sort of need a left-sided player. Let's go for Rennie Besson. The assistant manager's always saying he should be getting a call-up. So that's what we're going to go with. We're trying something a little bit different. I'd say the main man missing out is Junior Ward. We do have Sammy Wooden on a 6.7 from 2 sub-appearances, and we've got Trim Skjorten 16 appearances overall, 6.71. But the 2 centre-backs we picked do have better average rating. Although Luke Berwick, who is a little bit unfit, hasn't played too much football. Luke Berwick, what have you got? You can jump. You're okay at marking. You can pass. You can tackle. You're brave. You're aggressive. You've got good teamwork. Positioning's a little bit off. 2-footed. Yeah, we'll give him a go. Let's see how he gets on. So here we go then, into play Solihull Moors, 4-2-3-1, getting a run out live on camera. We are away from home as well, but this is a bit more of an attacking formation. Has picked us up some results in the recent weeks. So let's exact our revenge on Solihull Moors. I have faith. I trust you to make the difference. I have faith. Get out there and see. So Keenan Omorovic goes back up top, which is interesting. In the absence of Junior Ward and Lexi, he's going to get a run out up front. I literally just forgot that I have to then, when we're on camera, I have to change what we're seeing, right? Sideline, and we'll go replays, replay events, goals only. That's what we want there. So let's see how this squad gets on. Omorovic loses out to Prenderville, into Mohammed. They're playing like 5 at the back, which looks very... are they playing a 3 at the back formation? They're not. They're playing a 4-3-3 DM. So I'm going to assume they've got a half-back in there. Is Smolan, he looks offside. Murto looks offside, but his shot goes wide anyway, and it was a free kick given for offside. So, yeah, I think Allsop is one that we need to potentially look to move on relatively, like, doesn't say relatively soon, but end of the year. We don't have enough reputation that clubs are interested in our players enough. We've sent a few out on loan, but not too much. Here is Berwick, and it goes to Beredetsky filling in at left back at the moment. Up the line to Seth Johnson. Johnson cuts inside. Johnson shoots. Goal. 1-0. Luke. I called him Seth Johnson, who is the creator of Family Guy. I meant Luke Johnson. No, Seth MacFarlane is the creator of Family Guy. Who on earth is Seth Johnson? Is Seth Johnson the guy that used to play for Leeds and Derby at holding midfield, where Leeds spent like 30 million on him to buy him? Was that Seth Johnson? I don't know. Who's Seth Johnson? Let me know in the chat. What really matters, though, is that we're 1-0 up against Solihull Moors. And the one shot, one on target, one goal is coming into fruition for Folkestone Invicta, which is absolutely lovely. And it has seemed to turn the tide of the game, which is quite helpful. Williams with a throw-in, though, for Solihull Moors into Agbinone. Agbinone to Jones, forced back to Mohammed. Mohammed up to Williams again. Dinks it over the top to Agbinone. It's a lovely pass. It's a lovely goal. And that's 1-1. Asher Agbinone scores for Solihull Moors and makes it 1-1. We've not bought many fans for this. This is our fans down on the left-hand side there, and it's not very good. This pass here from Williams, lovely little dink over the top. And Agbinone took it in his stride. Good finish past Piekarski. And makes it 1-1. You can't really argue against it. They've had 5-7 shots. We've had 1. And I do feel like the 4-2-4 creates us more chances. It's really, I can't figure out in my head why we pick up what seemingly seems like picking up more results with a 4-2-3-1 when we create more chances in a 4-2-2-2. Also, great challenge on a yellow card. I had to get that one right. Cross clears it. Mohammed takes over the ball. Solihull Moors moving it around well. Hughes into Jones. Jones lays it off to Shorrock. Shorrock is in, and it's a really big save from Piekarski. It's a really, really big save. I might do the 4-2-4 in the second half and see which one we play better with. Like, I mean, that is what I do generally in the games. I do change formations and see if we can exploit certain things. I feel like we might be in a better position exploiting the wings a little bit more and getting crosses in, which is what we do a lot in the 4-2-2. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously missing Junior Wood, but we're only created 2 chances, both on target, and one was a goal, but not for great XG. I'm going to point the finger and say, look, if we don't shoot, we're not going to win. So change that, because we can put Cross there, Allsop there, or we can even drop Emmanuel back for, which I think I'll do. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for the 4-2-2 like this. And we're going to do Emmanuel here. We're going to go Allsop off for Shuaibu to come in, who is our backup target forward. So Emmanuel and Cross is quite an attacking 2 in there as well. They're playing a 4-3-3 DM, so we could push. We'll start like that, and then we'll maybe push it up. What we've done is pushed our higher press and higher line up, but dropped ourselves to balanced in the 4-2-2, and it seems to be working. So let's crack on. So we can do a sub at half time. Will this change the game in our favour? Berwick on a 6.3, not playing brilliantly. We've given him a chance, but yeah, he's not really stepped up for this opportunity. So let's see. They've got a corner. Jones to take it. Swings it to the edge of the box. Agabanone's there into Shorrock. He's going to score, isn't he? Oh, he's put it wide. Right, we're going to squeeze them. We're going to squeeze them if we can. We're going to squeeze them. Try and get them down. Right, let's take Berwick off. He's knackered on a 6.3, not playing very well. He can come off for Gubbo. Come on then, Gubbo. On you come. Prove me wrong to say that you're not playing very well at the moment. We're going to bring on Lexi for Rice, and Lexi's going to go up front for Omarovic, who also isn't having a great game. So we'll leave it there, and then we've got Gemmell that can come on for Omarovic if he doesn't improve, and potentially Bessett on for Richard Evans, and we'll move Beredetsky over to right back. But yeah, so the season is fine. The season has been okay. It's really not been dreadful. This game has been pretty dreadful, to be honest. We've created 2 chances. Right, we're going to go positive as well. Let's try and force the issue a little bit. Gubbo into Cross. Cross back to Moore. Moore into Cross. Back to Gubbo. Keeping the ball well. Out it goes to Johnson. Into Sheubu. Holds it up. Back to Gubbo. Keeping the ball. Nothing silly. Into Beredetsky. Up to Johnson. Back to Beredetsky. Into Gubbo. Up to Cross. Into Emmanuel. Into Gubbo. Gubbo holds it. Into Moore. Moore holds on to the ball. Oh, so Omarovic didn't get there. Could probably blame the cross, the pass, to be honest. Murto shoots over the bar. Let's get Gemmell on. let's get Gemmell on for some fresh legs. So Omarovic off, Gemmell on, and then we'll do Evans off for Besant. He can come on. Berodetsky goes over to the right, and we go from there. That is all of our subs done. 25 minutes to go. 1-1 here. Both teams with three yellow cards as well, so a bit of a dirty game. I mean, a 1-1 draw isn't dreadful. It's just more the manner in which we've played isn't the greatest. We've now had 3 shots in 74 minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. But if you pick up points, or a point, it's really not that bad. But we've got a little bit of game time to get through. This has been an absolute dreadful game. Jones with the corner, swings it in. Good header away. He's given a corner. We give away so many penalties. And I said corner, I meant penalty. We give away so many penalties, by the way. It's ridiculous. We don't even have get stuck in on anymore. Murta with it. And he beats Pikarski. 2-1 to Solihull Moors. They've probably got the game wrapped up with that one. He does a little jig as a celebration. Good for him. Let's go target forward on attack. And see if that makes a difference, which it probably won't. But 2-1 Solihull Moors. They deserve it. They've been the better team. We haven't really turned up today, have we? We haven't played brilliantly. We've struggled. Nothing's really worked. Picking the average rating players hasn't made the difference that I would have hoped. But it's not. As I said, I'm pretty sure we're safe for the season. I'm pretty sure we've put enough points. Oh, Lexi could be in. Lexi could be in. Round the keeper. 2-2. Lexi gets it. Johnson with the ball over the top. 5 minutes to go. We're not out of it yet. We're not out of it yet. Jord Gubbins dinked a ball out with his left foot to Johnson and then over the top, finding the run of Lexi, and just knocked it round the goal, through the goalkeeper. Not even round him. Through the goalkeeper to make it 2-2. And Lexi comes off the bench and gets a goal. He'll probably get an injury as well at the same time, because that's generally what happens when we play him. They go to a 4-2-3-1 to try and a little bit more attacking, apparently. Segundo Volante will push up, ball winner will hold, full-back will move up slightly, wing-back will push up a lot. So we could get some joy down there, our left, their right. But I don't think we're going to push and force that issue, because with how we've played, I will take a 2-2 draw. It's picking up points that matters. That's another point on the board. 2.84 XG to 0.87. Wow, we were pretty rubbish. But it's a goal and assist for Luke Johnson. Not Seth Johnson or Seth McFarland. But I'll say it was a satisfying result. Keep morale high. That is part of the Youth Academy Challenge as well. Always about keeping morale high. We dropped to 15th. But again, not dreadful. A win could potentially take us up to 13th and be mid-table. So it's not a bad season. It's not a bad season. Safety is good, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think we're going to stick with the 4-2-3-1 just because it generally does produce more goals, but the 4-2-4 definitely has its day, doesn't it? It definitely has its day. But that is unbeaten in 4 games in the league, which is lovely. Colchester, Leyton Orient, Bromley and Solihull Moors, 2 wins, 2 draws. It does feel like we are turning the tide a little bit in this season. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.